Hello, hello, hello. This is Miss B with Be More Bouillon, turning dreams into destination, one face, one body, and one hard time at a time by promoting confidence. How y'all been doing? I hope that this is a place that you can come to when you're having a bad day and get something positive, because that's what Be More Bouillon is about. And actually the word bouillon means to be uplifted, to float above water and gas. So everything that I post in here, I like it to be good and positive, because it's enough negativity out there in the world. And I do not want that in this group. So today what we're going to talk about is to accept yourself unconditionally. There's a lot of people around here stressed out and depressed because they do not accept themselves, and they're accepting some lies or accepting some things that someone else done said or that the enemy done said. And it's causing them not to have peace. So that's what I'm here for, to help you to have peace. Because if you are entrepreneur minded, or if you just want to be the best at what you do, then you definitely got to stay positive from the inside out. So let me see here. Today, what I want to say is that before you can make a change with yourself, you got to know something is wrong. So you got to be able and willing to lower your pride enough to know something is wrong. But when I say lower now, I'm not saying to beat yourself up or to diminish or demolish yourself. No, what I'm saying is, in order for you to fix something, you got to know it's a problem. For example, I had a flat tire one time. I didn't know I had a flat tire. And if I had acknowledged the problem sooner, maybe I wouldn't have had to be without a tire for 3 days. I could have possibly went ahead and, got something to repair it and stitch it up before it was totally destroyed. And we don't want anyone's reputation or mood or productivity to be totally destroyed. If we can catch that problem before it's totally destroyed, then we can do a little maintenance. So just so you know, people, flaws are just indication that something needs improvement. And once you face it, you can actually transform yourself into something better than you were before you realized you had the flaw. But you have to acknowledge it. And that's how people show up to the high school reunion, and they are totally transformed. Where they may have been a dork in school or something like that, they have realized that, they knew they had an issue or whatever, and they got tired of it. They got fed up somewhere up in there. And they got fed up and said, I'm going to make a change. Now, that's where a person need to get to in order to be great. That's how God will take your mess and turn it into something that's very blessed. So, growth is painful, though. We all look at the end product, but I'm here to tell you about that part right before that end product. That transitional stage you got to go through where it don't feel comfortable. Now, this is the stage where a lot of people revert back to their old way of coping, or they allow that negativity right there where it's time to transition and go up. Sometimes people collapse right there. So I'm here to tell you that just as gold is so beautiful, it has to go through a lot of heat to mold that beautiful gold into that beautiful ring or herringbone or whatever it is. And after going through the fire, that's when it comes out on the other side really clear. And as the Bible put it, come out white as snow. You got to go through the fire first. If you try to avoid that fire, you're not going to come out as crystal clear. But it's good when you feel that pain, because that is some strength also. Growing up they call it growing pains for a reason. It's like peeling the layers of the onion. That transition is tough, but you just hold on. You just hold on, because that's where your mindset can get messed up right there. We don't want it to get messed up there. I'm here to tell you, when you start feeling pain, rejoice, because you get ready to grow up and go to the other side, but you gotta stay positive. You gotta stay positive. And this is what separates the entrepreneur from the person who is still working for someone else. Because you gotta be able to face what could be defeat and come up with a solution. And this is the people who turn lemon into lemonades. I'm trying to get everybody in this group to be able to grow up to turn lemons into lemonade. So in order to do that, like I said, there's a temporary uncomfort. It doesn't last forever. It feels like it when you're in the midst of it. But I'm here to tell you, it don't last always. So this group, like I said, is where we come here. We don't just talk about a problem. We're talking about a solution. The solution is acceptance. Acceptance is the answer to all our problems today. To accept that you have an area that you know you need to strengthen, instead of trying to act like it's everybody else. When you know that you have an area that needs to be strengthened, now you know what resources to look for so that you can get improvement in this area. And you guys, I've been doing some good, strong, hard, long research on this mindset stuff, because I wanted to grow my mindset and get more popular. I have big dreams I want to do. And yes, now I understand why there are some people, when you get ready to do something big, sometimes you can't tell certain folks things, and you got to be mindful of who you share your dreams with. Because when somebody tell you you can't do it, what they're really saying is they can't do it. But you got to be strong enough in your spirit to know what God has put upon your heart, and trust and believe that He will help you with that. As long as you're not out here going to hurt someone else, you know that's not God if it's something that's telling you to hurt someone else. And it's also not God if it's, you know what, if it's some codependent stuff, it's not. So we're just going to talk about this here. Like I said, acceptance is the answer to all your problems, but it don't mean this to lie there. First, we just need to accept that we need to work on something. And it's just like the caterpillar. He moves slow, but once he go through his transformation and go through his storm, now he can fly. The butterfly can fly and get around faster, but he has to go in his little cocoon first and go through his metamorphosis. So I'm going to read a selection from my book, The 100 Simple Secrets of Happy People, because the moral of this group is to make sure you remain happy. And if you're not happy, I just want to give you some encouraging words to help you get over there. So, accepting yourself unconditionally. You are not just the size of your bank account. You are not just the neighborhood that you are in. That does not make you. You're not the type of work that you do. You are, just like everyone else, an almost inconceivable, complex mix of ability and limitations. A new kind of New Year resolution is becoming increasingly popular. Instead of dwelling on something that we think is wrong with them and trying to resolve to improve, a lot of people are taking a different approach. They are resolving to accept themselves, to acknowledge that, faults and all, they are complete good people. Kathleen, a member of a group that spreads the acceptance philosophy, she explains that she used to feel like she was in a trap that she couldn't get out of. She would try to correct herself and change herself. Now get this, people. And the failure to change was actually worse than the original problem itself. The failure to change was worse than the original problem itself. She felt like a maniac because of the pressure to change and the weight of that failure. Now Kathleen counsels herself. She counsels accepting herself, which does not mean ignoring your faults or never trying to improve. What it does mean is believing in your own value first, last, and always. Self-love is everything I'm trying to tell you. In a study of adult self-esteem, researchers found that people who are happy with themselves take defeat, all right? When they're happy with themselves, they take defeat and explain it away, treating it as an isolated incident that indicates nothing about their ability. Now, people who are unhappy take defeat and enlarge it, making it stand for who they are and using it to predict the outcome of future life events. So we can't do that. You know, whatever you magnify, whatever you focus on, it magnifies. So this group is about focusing on the solution and the positive. It's focusing on a good outcome instead of focusing on the negative. So I want to also explain with you guys what happens with the crab. This is a very beautiful story, and I didn't know this, but if any of you know this story, and you can leave some comments below about what I left out. But the crab, which is my birth sign, which my birthday is tomorrow, woo, 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 yay, yay, yay. So I feel like this description really fits me and all cancers well. The crab, every time he grows, he has to shed his shell. And I watched a YouTube video, and when the crab was shedding that shell, it was actually hollering. I had headphones on, and with the headphones on, I was able to pick up on that crab that was actually screaming. You see, when the crab is transitioning out of his old shell to his new shell, he has to do that because it's cramped up in there. The crab is growing steadily inside of that shell. And when that crab grows to where they can't no longer fit that shell, they got to come out of it. Now, we can look at this metaphorically, as in when people grow, mature mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they find like the people that they hang around, it don't fit anymore. Maybe the folks they used to kick it with, once they start growing and reading certain things and educating themselves, they feel like they can't relate to their crowd of people no more. Or what about the person that's on drugs and something happened in them personally, and they're like, look, I don't want to live that way no more. I'm done with that life. Now their friends, they don't want to be around that anymore. So that's equivalent to the crab being ready to grow a new shell. I can't breathe in here. I got too much knowledge inside of me. I got to get out of here. So when the crab grows to where he's so uncomfortable, he feels smushed in, the shell cracks on the side. The crab shell has a little crack. And if you look at the bottom of the ocean, it's kind of like the snake when he shed his skin. And you will see the skin but no snake. So when this happens, first of all, that crab is feeling like how we feel when we have too little shoes on. And when your feet hurt, your whole body hurts. So the crab is in pain from his growth, which is a positive thing. To grow is very positive. So then, this is the point right here. This is my point here too. When that crab is growing and transitioning, and he's in pain, he's very vulnerable. Now, this vulnerable stage is where people can turn negative, people can get stuck in depression. And that's why I'm here to tell you not to get stuck in that depression when you are transitioning to a higher level. It feels lonely a little bit, but it's really not. Now, check this out. During that stage, before that crab grows a new shell, okay, the old shell is to the bottom of the ocean somewhere, and he's grown, so he feels relieved. Now he can breathe, but now he has to wait on his new shell to grow, so it's like he don't have any skeletal protection. He's vulnerable to be eaten alive, literally. So he has to go away and hide. Now, before that crab breaks out of that shell, he kind of knows this is getting ready to happen. He gets depressed. And it also takes a lot of energy out of that poor crab. When this thing happens, I want to say this might take about a month. He knows he's too squeezed up in that shell. He knows it's getting ready to happen. He's depressed. He might die. He might not make it through this transition. So he's going to somewhere and grieve, but he knows that in order for him to survive, he got to try. He got to try. He got to get out of that little shell that he's in, and he got to get a new shell that can fit his now more grown up and mature body. So what they do is they go and hide out. They hide under a rock for this shell to come out, and they try to also hide until they get a layer of protection. Now, we're not going to go into how something could come and move that rock away. Maybe a ship came by, but this is equivalent to you going through your transitional stage in your life where you may be trying to grow spiritually. You may be going to church or something like that. You may have started a new group of people. You might be going to the Toastmasters group, or you may have started a new course in class, or You may be in a motivational speaking course or a transition in your life where you are going through the part in your life that you want to motivationally speak about. Okay, this is equivalent to you don't have no protection, no shell, but you know you can't be with the old folks you was hanging around no more. You can't be at that old job no more. Maybe something told you to step out there and get your own business. You feel like you a crab with no shell. Okay, anybody hear me what I'm saying? Give me a like if you hear what I'm saying. So once that shell comes on, they can feel like they can come out, but they so tired and drained. See, when you tired, when you're mentally tired, that is a time when you can be distracted against the wrong way, and you want to drink of some water. It might not be the right thing you want to do. Might have some wine or something, and it'll set you back. And when you get in that state, something can come on here and kill you. So while you peeling the layers of that onion and you hurting and you crying, you happy to get out of the old environment. You can't mess up before you get over to the other side. You don't want to be in the wilderness for 40 years. So I'm just here to tell you, somebody might be going through something in their life right now. They feel like they don't see no end. They don't see no positivity in this thing. But I'm here to tell you, you keep right on going and you keep on growing. The bigger that crab is, the more times that they have gone through this transition, they are mature. They have learned how to protect themselves when they are transitioning over. I just love that story because I just feel like there are times in my life when I've been growing, me as a Cancer, which is a crab is my birth sign, and I just have gone through that so many times in life where I felt like I couldn't make it through, but I wake up on the other side and I'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I didn't go back. So I hope this is for somebody. So this, in your entrepreneurship, you start a business, everything happy, you great, and then you may have to fire some people, or you may find that you need to expand and start hiring. As I see everybody right now, as the pandemic is coming to a break, they want to hire new people. So, this shell getting ready to get a little crowded here in a little bit. And so, anywho, when you get knocked down, you're going to bruise and you're going to hurt, but you understand that bruise is going to heal. That broken bone is going to heal. That broken dream is going to heal. Anything broken is going to heal, but you got to stay in the race and don't get killed, okay? So you got to be mentally strong and just stay right in your head. Stay right mentally. Your thoughts, this is so important. When you're going through that transition and things are hard, that keeping the faith is what you need to do, but it's not what you want to hear. It don't feel good. You don't want that. You get tired. You get frustrated. But I'm here to tell you, do not become weary in well doing, please, because you're doing the right thing. It just don't feel good. Sometimes the right thing don't feel good. And that's why we got to have a connection with our higher power to know the difference. And that these feelings are a barometer. But we need our higher power or something greater than us that ain't us to let us know which way to go. Woo, Lord, y'all, I tell you, this for somebody. It's for somebody. So there really is something to this positive thinking, because what you meditate on, you're going to gravitate on. You're going to gravitate over there. For example, when I'm in a health and fitness phase, y'all, I just love exercising, what it does. But when I'm exercising, and if you guys are not in my health and fitness group, somebody type down add me, because I get really deep. When you are an entrepreneur or you are someone striving to advance for a promotion, you got to stay headstrong and focused. You got to stay focused. When I'm on my weight loss journey, I'm focused to the point where I don't care if everybody around me eating pizza. I'm like, I'm focused on my vision. I'm focused on my goal. So how this translate over here, you may be going through something at work where you're doing the right thing, but some new folks done got hired. And they don't seek some favoritism, but they fake is H-E-double-L. And you're doing the right thing. You feel like somebody doing you some kind of way. And then you might get fired. That's just the Lord is telling you it's time to move. See, when your mindset is right and that happened to you, you don't meditate on the negative. You look at this as an opportunity. Somebody broke up with you, somebody divorced you, and you feel like that's the end. You thought that was the one. You can't see nothing better than what you had. But this is very important about that mindset, because you can get yourself depressed and digress, go backwards, and hook up with somebody that you know is beneath you, but you get so lonely when you're going through that place. That's why I'm here to tell you, you got to stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize. You got to turn lemons into lemonade, but it don't. When you're going through it, it feel like you're the only one, and it feel like nobody got a story worse than yours. Nobody had it bad as you. God might get ready to promote you to a position that give you a parking space, honey. You know, because there's situations where your part-time job give you a new car, and your full-time job won't even give you a parking space. Oh, Lord. See that's what I'm saying. Shares of the Bouillon is just about these topics like this right here. When you feel like throwing in the towel, I'm here to tell you, don't throw in that towel. You better pick that towel up and protect yourself, because it might be getting ready to rain. You might want that towel. Pick it up, and you take that towel, make it a nice, pretty headscarf. What I'm trying to tell you. So the mind is the battlefield. It is a spiritual, mental, and emotional mind. The devil know if he can get you in your mind, he already got you. If he can get you to jump on off that bridge, he got you. You know what I'm saying? So we may sometimes be looking for something physical to defeat us. But when you're tired, you don't think clearly. When I'm tired, I go to the grocery store, buy everything, and I ain't got no business hand. Hey, my friend. And that's why I'm here to tell you. You got to stay focused and do not get weary and well doing. It's joy. Joy does come in the morning. That storm ain't going to last long. But if we don't have storms in life, you're going to have a desert. We can't have no desert, you know. We don't want to grow cactuses. I mean, they retain water. You know, that could be equivalent to you retaining negativity. You just holding it all in because you don't know when good going to come. That mindset is so important. That's what I'm here to tell you. That is what I'm here to tell you. So the mind is the battlefield, and we got to keep negativity out of that mind. We can't be around tired people. We can't be around people that is always down. Yes, we get down, but we have to learn where to go to get filled up in a positive way. And it might be a way we don't know about. It may be a way that's unfamiliar to us, but that doesn't mean it ain't the right way. And that's where having a relationship with your higher power will help you get on through this hump. Because, you know, when God was trying to take them folks over there out of the wilderness, they had to go somewhere they never went before. They had to go through a Red Sea. Now, you know, when they were sitting over there in that dirt island, they saw all that water. They couldn't see the fact that that sea was about to be parted open for them to go through. But they had to have that trust. They had to trust that God ain't going to lead them no kind of way. And if they didn't have that trust, we wouldn't have a story about the Red Sea. We'll have another story where they walked off the boat and started sinking because they started doubting and being negative. And when you start sinking and start doubting and being negative, that's that doubt. That's lack of faith. You cannot have faith and fear at the same time. You got to drop one of them. Don't drop the faith. Drop the fear, take that faith, and go and part that Red Sea. I tell you right now, y'all, I'm not a pastor or anything, but I just felt moved that somebody need to hear this, and that's what this group is about. If there's anyone you have in your life that's going through something, please add them to this group, because this is a private group here. You can't share it out. Now, if you're looking at this on my business page, please share this video with somebody that you know need to hear this positive message. Somebody is going through something. They don't understand it. They think the world is out to get them. The devil's out to get you, but it's not the world, see. So if you're not in my private group, sometimes in my private group, I come in, I say stuff like this, and it's kind of private. I might get a little bit more intimate than I just did. And if you are in my group, Shares of the Bouillon, and you know somebody going through this, please add them to the group. If you're not in my group, Shares of the Bouillon, just put down, add me to the group down below in the comments, and I'll make sure that you get added in there. But anywho, this is all I had to say for today, y'all, because, whoo, I feel good already all over myself, I tell you. So we are going to stay positive. We're going to keep our head up. We're going to be more happy. We're going to be more buoyant. We're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to be an invisible happiness, like an invisible gas, full of happiness, charging to the top. We will not stop. And I am here to promote confidence so that you can accomplish your dreams. Until next time, this is Miss B with Be More Bouillon, and I am out.